Well, whose was this? Oh, P, this was yours, wasn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
this is P's. All right, so let me start it off, and then I'm gonna start it off how we do, and then P, you gonna grab it from while you pull this in. So I guess we're gonna roll how we usually do.
All right.
Look in the eyes of the truth, and the truth of the eyes. We hear no lies, peanut butter fries.
Tell me
Niggas
why.
know the truth. Tell them why. We are here for y'all. Now, y'all probably looking at the screen like something's not right. So now they're like, there's somebody missing. And at the bottom of the screen is where he's supposed to be. And this is, for y'all that don't know, listen, this is Docs, still Docs with Phat Cat. Okay, you see little mattress, you see young Pratio, you're like, where's the Phat Cat at? From above, like Christ without vision of seeing him, is the ear of Phat Cat. This is Four Presidents. Was the name of it right? Was there another part of it? Oh, just Four Presidents, right?
Four Presidents, something conspiracy. I'll find it because why would we ever be prepared?
Come on. We get it on the cuff. We fly on the cuff, on the wing.
This is on the cuff. This is freestyle. This is one of a kind right here.
One of a kind. So
this is the state of the art, baby. This is state of the art right here.
Listen, if Picasso could paint in front of you and you walk away with it,
you will see us. You will see us.
That's what this is right now. So this Four Presidents was about the four assassinated presidents. Abraham Lincoln.
Let's put a word in front of four and after the, right? That word, and check it out, and it's a 4-letter word in front of the four, and let's put only.
What's that word?
The only four.
Oh, the only four.
Only four presidents that were
assassinated. Let's put that word in there.
Yo,
to
put
give
your
it more
phones up.
depth.
This is why you build a suspense for small words, like, you know what I mean? Listen, the people right now were built in suspense for you to get that 4-letter word out. What is it? What is he talking about? Is it, oh my God, what's the 4-letter? Give me 4-letter words. Yes, only.
So the documentary that we watched was called The Full Four Presidents Oval Office Conspiracies.
Oval
OOC.
Right.
P-O-O-C. I said P-O-O-C. I said, okay.
Right. Talk about
and it rhymes, y'all. Come on. It ties into the culture even. Check it out.
Listen. So these only four assassinated presidents, all right, have this conspiracy documentary came out to put them all together as how they were connected. And I found this to be super interesting. And at first we're gonna throw it to Phat Cat to give us why you grabbed this one up, man, and we'll let you get the ball rolling as far as diving into this one, man, since you presented this, brother. Talk about it.
All right. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Bronx.
Now,
Queens.
So the reason, to be honest, was because I really didn't have one to the last minute. And when I was watching the Chariot one, the one before this one, about the aliens and shit, I just so happened to see that. Like I was going to press, to watch the Chariot one, the guy, I forgot. I'm sorry about that.
Chariot to the gods.
Chariot to the
gods. Before I went to see that, my TV just happened to stop on the Four Presidents, and I was watching the trip. And I was seeing all of this shit, and I was like,
So the trailer pulled you in.
Hence
the reason we had to watch that horror documentary we watched. So watching that horror documentary opened your eyes to that better trailer. To
the Four Presidents. And then I said, you know what, let me pin that, let me come back to that. That's going to be interesting. And then just this all happened that it was my turn to pick the documentary. So you know what I did, and that's where I went. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now, do these guys connect the dots, or do these guys connect the fucking dots?
I like what was presented. I'm not gonna lie, I tell you that myself. I'm in the courtroom like this. I'm in the courtroom like, yo, we gotta converse about this.
Yeah. this is like my first question is that fucking narrator alive still?
B, I was saying that shit. Fucking halfway through it, it's like, yo, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it?
Is he fucking alive still or what? Let me know something. Talk to me. Please, somebody. Send me a fucking, drop me an email, leave me a message, show me an Instagram post or something of this guy, please. Because the fucking information this guy released is fucking mind-blowing.
Now, this documentary came out, was it this year? I believe this is a new one, correct?
That you will have to ask Mr. Mattress.
Yes, 2020.
2020, yeah.
2020. I see clear. 2020.
So I think it came out at the beginning of the year too. I think it was like. So my thing is like, maybe he's safe because it's a pandemic and he had it low. Everybody low still. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still low from the panic.
Or maybe maybe it was one of these anarchy groups that is maybe showing something to the masses to be like, look, you stupid motherfuckers. Hello. This is what it is about.
Right.
Yo.
So to bring it all to the people's eyes of what's really saying is,
guys, he's dead.
No, don't fuck
dead.
around. Don't
January
you fuck around.
21st, 2019. Andrew Gauss, because let me bring it up on the computer so I can at least share it with you.
Hey,
oh man,
the nigga died before the nigga died before this shit dropped, bro.
Are you fucking kidding me, man?
He dropped before this shit dropped.
Are you fucking listen to me. Yo, we gotta fucking somehow record this shit. We gotta record this shit.
I gotta take this dollar bill off my head, man. I gotta take this dollar. I'm a marked man right now.
Before they take this down, B. Oh my goodness, B. You believe this shit, B? I swear to you,
wait,
my kids,
does it have causes?
I swear to you, bro, on my children, I did not know. It was just something that I just had a feeling after watching it.
Is he still alive?
I was just saying to myself, that was the first thing that came to my mind was, yo, is this guy still alive?
All right, you can see the screen, right, Raps?
I can see it, yep.
All right, so now we're going.
Wow.
Let me just make sure that this is the movie. Okay, this is the movie that we watched, right?
2020, it dropped.
In 2020, I see clear. Now I go to host Andrew Gauss, right? That would that would be the host, right? But there is not a picture of him right here. But
there's no picture of him
under the credits, and now we'll look him up to make sure.
It says his death date right there. He died January 21st, fucking 2019.
But let's just make sure. So I put up, this is pictures of Andrew Gauss, Google Images. That is him.
He's young, man.
So
59,
his name,
59. Shit, that ain't that young.
His picture wasn't on IMDb.
50 something. He was born in 59. He was 60. Yeah, actually.
His picture
wasn't on IMDb.
Andrew Gauss, G-A-U-S-E.
Gauss, G-A-U-S-E. Almost like your coach's name a little bit.
Yeah.
But Jets.
It said Andrew Gauss was born August 15th, 1959 in Virginia. As Andrew M. Gauss. He was a producer and actor known for Oh Bam Nude in 2009, The Great Fight. All right, a couple others. And he died January 21st, 2019 in Savannah, Georgia, USA. It doesn't say cause of death, but yeah, like I said, there's no picture here, but we Googled that name, and yeah, that's the only person that pops up besides one martial artist.
Bro. He died before, fucking months before, a long way away from the year he was supposed to turn 60. He died 59 the year he was supposed to turn 60.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is fucking
wild.
And not to get crazy, but yeah, it's the last thing he did.
Yo, that's the last. That was his last fucking production.
He worked 2014, then he worked 2020. He was on Four Presidents documentary. He was an executive producer as well.
So he hadn't done anything in 6 years. Holy shit!
So hold on. That's the key fucking thing there. He executive produced the Four Presidents, right? So that tells you he was the main piece of getting all that motherfucking information and all that research.
Exposed.
So he
exposed a lot.
And his team fucking got all that information, put all that information together, connected all the fucking dots. Boom.
I'll tell you something that makes it a little bit more clear for me, because I'll be honest with you, when I was watching, I was kind of like, this doesn't feel like the best dude for this job. But now I'm thinking like,
they should have went
I'm putting
audio,
myself.
man. He did.
Yeah.
That's like he could have just went all audio, man. But he did put himself right there. Like
that's what I'm saying. Maybe he did that of like, I want to get my face out there of, yo, this is me that did it. So whatever. I don't know. But
I think
maybe he didn't want to put somebody else in the position for somebody to think that it was them that was delivering the info. Because, yeah, he wasn't a great talker. And like we had said yesterday, yo, that fucking 4 piano beat in the background had me a couple of times like, I feel like I'm hypnotized.
That was very
right now.
unsolved mysteries. That was some unsolved mystery shit.
And before we even continue, man, I got to say one thing, too. Fuck Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah. Hey, listen. We're gonna get into it because he was the one. He was the one.
Fuck Alexander Hamilton, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, it just shows you the who you know, and it's the who you know game. Always greed, power.
Yep.
Get in a position that you got power, and man, you got motherfuckers with the bread. It's gonna work.
I can't believe I watched that fucking.
So to give people a little more context, because I know it seems we're scattered right now, what's going on, because the death of that man was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that was rest in peace. It was about
right. So
thank
the
you
only
for the info, man, because that was very much some shit that definitely taught me some shit, and you know what I mean. You definitely opened up my eyes even wider, man. You made me more. You definitely brought it more into focus for me, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, sir.
What's for you?
I appreciate you, sir. You, Mr.
Listen,
Mr. Drew.
You're supposed to give us flowers at the end of this shit, but you can get it at the beginning. Changes up the pace. But so the only 4 presidents that were assassinated, we're gonna break them down. We want to go in order. So I believe Abe was the first, right?
Abe was the first, yes, sir.
McKinley was the second.
Abe was first.
Oh no, Garfield was second.
Garfield was second. McKinley was third. Kennedy was last.
And then JFK. Right. Kennedy was last. Now, those first 3 were kind of closer in years compared to JFK from 1902 or whatever the last one was to 63. That's a big fucking gap
it's 60 to 62. Yeah.
Right. But I got to say, what I did like, so what they did is basically they broke down the stories of these assassinations from knowledge that I remember and things that we were told. So I like how they kind of gave it like, hey, this is what they said. And it could be, he did a lot of that could be, could have been more like the racial injustices. That's what, somebody was mad about it. Some people that were losing money in the South just wanted to get over and get Abe. Will Spoof was an actor, you know what I'm saying? So they put all that together like, these are what you know from these assassinations, and they broke each one down. You know what I mean? This was like an hour and 45 minutes, this documentary. You know what I'm saying? Or an hour 50 or more, almost 2 hours.
Powerful. The most powerful hour and change ever in my life.
Yeah. Nah, it was an eye-opener with things, man.
I
gotta say, for me, I didn't know a lot. Like, before they broke all that down, so basically, all right, let me get right where I was. So the 4 presidents, you know what I mean, they connected as far as they all were assassinated. Now, they give you the story of whether they were assassinated, this is what you heard, but what they're trying to bring in is more of a big monopoly money type thing. And they bring it all back to the old dollar that you see on your head, where I learned the things I didn't know of why, like he started off the video explaining money. Where did it come from? How did we, you know what I mean? That was intriguing to me because I guess I never really dove into that myself of knowing where our money came from.
One title he highlighted was on the dollar bill was called Federal Note.
Federal Reserve Note. It's a Federal Reserve Note. So, and it's still to this day, I'll zoom in and y'all can see on top of my $5 bill on my paycheck. Can you see it? I can't tell.
Pop up a little. Yep, there you go. Yeah.
So as you can see right there, it says
up
Federal
a little.
Reserve Note.
Okay, yeah, you got it. No, you had it. Right there.
Had it? Okay. So it's things I've never gave a shit about in my life, I guess. We spend this fucking money without really knowing what's on it. You know what I mean? Like what it represents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it come from, what it's
where
about,
it come from,
you know
how it owns, how it holds its power, how it holds everything. You know what I'm saying? So
gently. Caressed.
No, so to me, it was like, okay, they broke down the Federal Reserve. I, myself, in the fucking complete dark of thinking, oh, we don't print our own money. The government does not make the money.
Yep.
So these European bankers came over from Europe and was like, hey, you know what I mean? We got a way to, help out your economy, boom, boom. And basically had them like, we're going to give you these paper notes that's like taking on your debt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we're going to like, I still almost had to watch it a couple times because like, they're convincing them, even though they don't really have the money to back them, but because that money's coming in and now they're part of the economy, they can just kind of print out money that doesn't exist.
That part you're talking about right there is why it brings me to the point of saying fuck Alexander Hamilton. Because everybody thinks that he was this awesome person and that he was this fucking patriotic person. He was so American this, so American that. He started, you know what I mean, and all this and all that. He was a fucking crook and a fucking deceiver. For the simple fact, because he was born in England, came from England, and the people that he knew with these fucking hierarchy, fucking top position people with fucking money. Okay? And I now, you know what I'm saying, me personally believe that the intentions of him were from those fucking people to come here to America to set forth the fucking economy the way they wanted to, okay, to now have us in their fucking back pocket. You know what I mean? And the way he introduced it was a fucking fairy tale.
I feel you. I think it was a Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme from the start.
Exactly. And what I'm talking about, what he was bringing was the introductions of the centralized banking system.
Yeah.
Centralized banking system.
You know what I mean?
Came from Europe. These guys came over.
They were fixed. So they were a group of people. You know what I'm saying? That just had a lot of fucking money that would just lend it to America.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And kill them on interest, and that's why they got them, interest.
And then raise interest however much they wanted to raise it. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, they did that, and once they were able to do that, because remember, we got to take it back in context. Before that, there were attempts that they were trying to do it. Other presidents said, nah, we're not fucking with y'all. We keep it in-house. Remember, before that, and it got to Hamilton, and he's the motherfucker. For y'all that don't understand, this is why the hate is more coming from Hamilton, because he was the one that opened the door for, okay, we're going to fuck with y'all. And convinced the government. Right, he convinced the government. Right. I know, but for people that are listening to us, they don't know. Maybe they don't. You know what I'm saying? I just want to direct them for your anger right now towards the nigga.
We watch the doc so they don't have to if they don't want to.
Right. I see the pic. I understand. I got you to paint. I got you.
There was a lot of attempts. They were coming out. They were coming to the government when they got here. Like, yo, boom, let's do. They want to lay in bed with them. They want to
do this deal.
Layman terms. They want to lay in bed. Come on, we work this out. America's like, nah, we got our own. We got enough money. We don't need your shit. We got currency. We're good.
Stay away from my pussy.
Right. At that time, everything was still silver and gold. That was like still was our currency. It was silver, gold. That's how we did it. So they're like, yo, we got the gold. You know what I mean? We come out, we lay in bed. We gonna make this together. Let's do it. Everybody, nah. But Hamilton was the plant. He became, and then it's like he's in bed now with the bankers because that's his people from back in England or from Europe.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, we're going to do this and convince the government because motherfuckers can be convincing. Convince them like, yo, this is the way. I'm telling you, these guys is going to be the way.
Right.
You know what's interesting? So that happened in 1792 because I remember I jotted that one down. Is when that first national bank happened. Hamilton did that in 1792.
Yep.
And by the year 1808,
supposedly
they were fucking privatized trillionaires.
What was the name of it? What was that name of that bank? What was the name of that bank?
The First National Bank, wasn't it?
The first U.S. bank. I think it was the first U.S. National Bank. You see how they titled that? You see how they titled that, right? It's the first United States bank, but with money, but with foreign money.
foreign money, and they were basically
you
printing out this money.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
Really, right. The money didn't really exist.
Right. That was the money. The money that was in there were for other countries. Were for Europe. That money, all that money in there, in that bank was not American. Was not American money at all. It didn't come from the hardworking citizens at all.
Right.
Or from the tariffs, or from the tariffs, or from the imports of tariffs and all of that at all. You know what I mean? That was directly money that was given to them by the Europeans. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're all Europeans.
Just you gotta. I want them to understand that. I want them to understand that it's called the first U.S. National Bank, but it has foreign money. You see that? Like that's so fucked up, man.
No,
that is so messed up.
Is that they were able to convince, basically, they didn't even have as much as they said they did. You know what I'm saying? They were printing out more than they had, but they were getting it by the interest coming back in. So basically, the American people were giving all this money to them. So they basically were feeding off of this shit, and just now they're giving out loans to the government. Now the government's needing them. The government's needing them. We need more money.
Right.
We need loans.
Right.
And it's all money that has been coming from American people the whole fucking time. Yeah. America lost ground on giving foreigners access to controlling their money. And that statement that I forgot the guy's name, I think at the beginning, where he was like, show me a way to control the currency and I'll show you how to control a country. I'm paraphrasing.
That was Rothschild. That was the Rothschild. That's where everything comes from. He's the one that control right now. Even if we like I don't want to jump, but that him, he's the key. In my opinion, that's the guy. He's the key. He's the one that controls everything. He's the one that's pulling all the strings. That family, the Rothschilds family, right? So they're the one. They're the one that basically runs Europe. They're the one that you know what I'm saying, that got their inner inklings and inner workings in the United States, and they got in bed. Well, you know, when we get to that, I don't want to. That's I'm going ahead right there again. I don't want to open that lane right now, but as you'll see, there's going to be ways how the Rothschilds fucking snuck their way into power.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because they're in power.
Anybody that has a plan could take over. You know what I mean? If your plan is that thorough enough,
right? And you know what I mean? And it's crazy how
they convince the whole country to lend their power to them. You know what I mean? A group of motherfuckers, a group of bankers.
A family. It's a family. It's
right.
a family.
Of bankers, smooth talking. Just imagine that, people. A family of smooth ass talkers convinced the whole country to give them the keys.
Yeah.
To drive their brand new expensive car.
And then what was that thing where I think they sold back? They had them sell their own shares. Yeah, there was 20% left, and there was 20% left, and they sold that as well. They just convinced them over time to get it back. You know, just hey, let me buy back another 5%.
Right. So now to paint the picture for people,
I think that was a little. I think that was after Lincoln and shit like that. That was more getting into you know what I'm saying. That was more after Lincoln and
right. No, when it first started, it was before Lincoln. Like I said, 1792 is when the first one came. And they said by the time 1808 came, they became powerhouses. They were basically billionaires at that time, making more than the country was making. So now you got to think about that process.
Yeah, by that time they was making about.
Right, they said by that year, by 18, they said that was what it was. By 1808, they became completely privatized.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Right. They had enough money. It's boom. And now when you're privatized, now we shut the door. We ain't got to tell you really what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They don't have to include them. Now the government.
We're in control. Basically, we're in control now.
Right. Yep. So now you take that for the last 230 years. That's been the money system from this privatized people. So for 230 years almost, that privatized company.
Well, no, since 19
have been. There have trillions. I almost feel it's like when we're getting money given to us, it's coming from those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
When they're giving trillions of dollars for war, it's coming from the Federal Reserve niggas. They've been getting trillions
Federal
of dollars
Reserve,
for fucking
the
230 years.
and the Federal and to bring in like the Federal Reserve, right, agency is just the 12 banks that are in this country that are from Europe.
12
that's all it is.
European
people.
banks run this country. That's that.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all it is, people. I mean, I didn't mean to fast forward that much, but since it's I mean, that's all it is, y'all.
I wonder if Trump knows that.
12
I think he
fucking
does.
banks. 12 banks that are privatized, okay, by motherfuckers in Europe. And ladies and gentlemen,
generational wealth.
ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. And I tell you this right now because you know what I'm saying. I don't want to, but that's some serious shit, man, to think about. You know what I mean? That is some serious shit to think about.
Yeah, and imagine ending up with so much money that you can just make people go away. That's crazy. And
right,
a president is bigger than somebody, So
right, absolutely.
So now we got the fucking banks for right now, right? We got these banks, right? So now here comes Lincoln
running the country. They're running the country.
Now here comes.
Now you go from 1792 to the first assassinated president, which was Lincoln, right? In this case,
Abraham Lincoln.
First assassinated.
So now that's a good point. I like that point. I like that point. I like that point you just said.
Right. So see what I'm saying? So now you take from being in power from 1792 of running a country now from 1808, basically. In that 16-year span, you're now owning a country. Now you have them in pocket. And now from that point, from 1808 for the next 60 years, 60 years, you're running things.
You've been stacking. Stacking.
Right.
And and also let's keep in mind too, all that money they making with the interest, making off the government of our government, right? They're making all that money off of us, right? Not only that, but now think of this, y'all. How about our presidents that were also elected? Now
they had to be in the pocket.
Check this out. Now check this out, right? All these presidents that came around, you know what I'm saying, were all about fucking, who knows? Were they in pocket? You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
All I'm saying is
were they chosen?
Whoever owns the dollar bill controls the situation.
That's my question.
I used to think that was true until Donald Trump got elected. I used to think that every single election was bought and paid for, and then Donald Trump got elected, and I was like, they didn't plan this. I know this was not on their list because of how many people were
maybe
so
he did
mad.
pay for some votes though. He could have bought. Yeah, who knows? I don't know the system. Maybe somebody's paying somebody to fucking change numbers sometimes. It could be.
Trump was such an outlier and so bad for that because of the stuff that he's changing. He's the only one that stands out so much as just completely not making sense as someone that they would have picked to put there for, this type of situation.
A world leader.
Yeah.
But I was saying so now you're running a whole country. Now we're leading up into the first assassination of Lincoln. Now when they laid that all down, they explained, at the time he was the civil rights, he was all about civil rights, and Abe was trying to stop slavery. For y'all to know the story, Abe was the one that signed Emancipation. And they say they said that's what caused him his life. You know what I mean? So now it's like, was it that? But then when they tied John Wilkes Booth, break that down to me again. They tied him to the reserves somehow because every person that
to the Confederates. To the Confederates. Yeah. They were saying that he had tied.
Oh, yeah, finish what you were going to say. Yeah.
Oh, no, I know. I like the conspiracy. I was going to say the conspiracy they had was they tied him to the vice president, Johnson.
Yes, at the hotel.
He had the tie. Yes, he had the ties to the bankers. You know what I mean? He was the one because Abe was against it. They had the quotes of Abe saying American money needs to be American money. We needed the banks. He complained about them. He was anti.
real quick, because we didn't say it out loud, there is the conspiracy theory that they think the vice president had the president killed. That's what we're saying.
Right.
Because we didn't say it in plain ass. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Sorry. Yep. Thank you. So they're saying now Andrew Johnson was his vice president, I believe. Was it Andrew? I believe it was Andrew. He was now had the conspiracy like, oh, did you get him killed? John Wilkes Booth went to a hotel. Now John Wilkes knows him. There was even rumors of them dating sisters together in their younger times. You know what I mean? So him and the Booth go back. You know what I'm saying? They go back. That's what they're saying. They go back. They know each other. So he went to go see him at the hotel. Oh, were you around? It was like a simple note. Oh, I just came to see if you're around. Yep. And this was 7 hours before he killed Lincoln.
Pop.
So some say, well, some of the conspiracy was like, well, maybe he's going to kill him too. It's like, no, because to think about it, if you're going to kill the vice first, as soon as you put that bullet and the word gets out, you're not getting to that president 7 hours later.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like that goes out the window. So they're saying Johnson was the one, because Johnson had the connection to the reserve banks. You know what I mean? Abe Lincoln was trying to shut that down and say, no, we're not with that, amongst everything else going on. So maybe that didn't get the focus because the hottest topic, like now, you know what I mean? What's the hottest topic? Emancipation was the biggest topic at that time. Not to say other shit wasn't going on type shit, you know what I mean? So Abe, Wilkes Booth, Johnson was the three, and they connected that to these federal banks. Once again, these powers that be. Oh, you're not going to let us in? And next thing you know, Abe gets killed. Johnson takes over. He opens up the act for him. No, opens the bridge back up to the federal banks. You know what I'm saying? Continues the method going. You know what I'm saying? So
for me, in the first place, I know that it's mad, it's mad old. It's a long ass time ago, but how the fuck did he get that close to the president? You know what I'm saying? Like that was my shit where I'm like, somebody was paid off for him to come up and pop like
something the vice president could pull off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't sleep on Mary Todd. She said it like it is. She's like, yo, what's that nigga? Okay, what you saying? Oh, Mary Todd was like, I know it was him.
Well,
I know it was him.
So that shit was cool, but we can't forget about Andrew Jackson, because he played a major part in this too, though. You know what I'm saying? Before Abe,
Andrew Jackson was before this is pre Abe.
Before Abe, right? Before Abe, and when Andrew Jackson was a general, right? He got elected. You know what I'm saying? Now, so like you said, in 1791, that's when you know what I'm saying?
1792.
Alexander Hamilton convinced the government to have funds, federal funds as a fiscal agent. You know what I mean? As a lending agent for the economy for us, for the Americans, right? For America. Bam. So boom. That's in turn. That's in there. That's the first. That's what they called what he did was the first book bank of the United States was that. Yep. Now here comes Andrew Jackson. Boom. He's a great leader. He's a great general. He beat the British for the fight in New Orleans, in the War of New Orleans. He's down the third. Now he's president. Fast forward, he's president. Now, here he comes and he cuts. He destroys that. He says, fuck that, fuck them. We beat them. Fuck their money. We got our own shit. And he writes the second bank, the second book bank.
Yep.
Right? And now, that's that was in 1811. Now, in 1811, the second bank was formed, and then 5 years later, it was controversy and all this and that, but that lasted to his whole term as president.
Yep.
Now, just imagine now America is independent. You know what I'm saying? So now America is independent from Europe, independent from those banks, independent from all of that. So now, first, imagine all the money now that Europe is losing from this move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now Europe is all losing this money. They're fucking going crazy now. Now they got to find a way to get this control back. You know what I mean? So America was doing great on its own. To show, just to put that, you know what I mean? Just to bring that out. You know, America on its own was prosperous. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And how we was doing it, you know, from our own sweat and brow. You know what I mean? And things like that. And then I forget. I think after his term, then you know, the eighth elected president or something like that came in, and boom, the banks are back in again.
Yep.
Right. Like I said, I know I jumped a big gap, but I had jumped to the assassination part because I know every other president was on the take before that. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jackson, all of them, they all allowed it. That's just I just gave a rough outline of like within that big gap, every president, Jackson, I'm down the line, everybody in there had to be on the move. You know what I mean? Because they allowed the shit. You know what I'm saying? Or the first one who kind of really was against it more was Abe.
Yep.
Well, no, Abe got assassinated for it. He wasn't the first against it. Abe was just got killed for it. But because what I was just saying, Andrew Jackson, he cut that off. You know what I mean? Andrew Jackson he cut that off. He stopped the banks when he came in the office. He stopped them from being the funding people and all the, you know, giving all this money. He stopped all that. He's like, no, we don't need y'all.
How come he didn't get killed then? You know what I mean? Why he didn't get it?
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Abe was but that's what I'm trying to say. Abe was the first one to get assassinated for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What I believe is what brings me to the conclusion of this, of what I'm going to say is that Europe probably started getting tired of us being like, nah, you know what I mean? Always fighting, always like resisting what they was trying to do. So they're like, you know what? Now it's time to fucking take the gloves off.
They're going to make a statement.
Right.
Motherfuckers.
But I think those guys in those banks were probably just more greedy, smaller group. I don't think they were funding the whole country of Europe. You know what I mean? They were funding their people. You know what I'm saying? Because they left Europe to come out here. You know what I mean?
No. The Rothschilds are still out in Europe. They own Europe, brother. Please do not get it mistaken. The Rothschilds own Europe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That smaller group, that Rothschild and whoever he elected to have in his circle when he was doing what he's doing, prospered from it. But I don't think he was going back there just like, I'm just now giving all my money to the country of England. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna give it to who he
What do you mean?
He might do some side deals with people in England, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, the Queen and them, he got more money than they do. He giving out loans over there. If anything, he running them.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro. We're talking about 1700s. We're talking about 1700s.
What I'm saying is the kind of money and power they were getting, they're even bigger than England to have to succumb to getting them.
Not getting. You know what I mean? Have. Not getting. What? Have. They have. To this day, still.
Well, I'm talking about at the time. At the time they were getting it. Why would they need to now go facilitate a country that they're making more money than? Motherfucker, you need me. At that point, come on, Pete, it's just like the game. You hustling. Well, I'm making all this bread.
Because this clientele is bringing you the most money you ever motherfucking get from any other clientele. That's why. Because they was making billions in the European, that they were making millions, billions.
Right, the Rothschilds, 17, 18, right. They were making the money, not the government in England. These small group of people.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the. I'm talking about the banks. The banks are just the so-called reserve banks, so-called allegedly, are just motherfuckers like you and me. Your family, my family, Fox family.
That's what I said. The gift of
you know what I'm
gab.
saying?
They got the gift of gab. They convinced
So
the niggas with high power.
So that's why Rothschild, you know what I mean? That's why Rothschild was quoted. You know what I'm saying? Just let me be the one that's going to make the money, that's going to print them the money, give them the money, and I don't care who write the laws. You know what I'm saying? You don't care.
There were some good quotes. There were definitely some good quotes.
Right. I don't care who write the laws because I own everybody. I could buy everybody.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what brings me to that decision to where I'm like, they got getting tired. They started getting tired.
I know, but I was just saying because it almost felt like you're blaming all the Europeans, but you got to blame the people from Europe is what I was just trying to say. It's a bunch of motherfuckers from Europe that came over here, not per se like the government sent people. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe that could be a thing, but
not the government.
Like
I'm just saying. My thing was
European niggas.
At that time. At that time, they had to have their hand in government in Europe.
Well, they had to make their way into those rooms to talk to people. All I'm saying is they were able to. They had money, so they were wealthy over there. So they had to be involved somewhat.
Who knows? Who's to say? Who's to say? Right?
You know what's funny? That's what you know. What, P? I'm gonna ride with you on this because guess what? This could be the biggest thing that England says. What you niggas won that war, but we got you.
Won the battle. Y'all might win the battle and all that, but we're winning the war. Exactly. Because, like, who's to say?
It might have took this long to get the keys, but we got them.
Nas signed to Jay-Z at Def Jam.
Right.
What you say?
Nas ended up signing to Jay-Z at Def Jam.
Right.
Even though, to me, Ether is better, but still, Nas ended up signing to Jay-Z.
Right.
So
Jay wins that war, hands down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So who's to say? Who's to say the Rothschilds, you know what I mean, didn't have wasn't right next to the king, you know, with the king and the royalty, with the royalty
England,
people.
Right. England's able to keep up with
us
how we grow because they're growing with us at the same time from us.
Yeah. So who's to say the Rothschilds, the royalty family of England, along with Alexander Hamilton, you know, and all of them. You know, who's to say that they, you know, didn't have all of them one day and just said, you know what?
We got this trying to come over here.
We got this new body of fucking. We got this land over here across the water. It's just starting to form up. It has a lot of potential. You know what I mean? Just thing is that, you know, they need a little guidance a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, they need a little push. They need a little push in their development. So, you know, let's help them out.
No, they were like, these motherfuckers are young. These motherfuckers are young and dumb, and we can go and take their entire country right now. And you almost have to respect it. You almost do.
Okay.
The G-Tech move.
There you go.
Yo, listen.
That's the more raw and cut version. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The OG that came in and told you, let me hold that, shorty. I got you. I'm gonna flip it for you. You know what I mean?
Let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do this, son.
And now you're doing it for him.
Right.
You're making him now, so you got pimped out by this nigga. You don't even know how.
And next thing you know, your dad let go of the bicycle, but meanwhile, you were still looking up at the sky and you didn't know that your dad let go and you ended up crashing into the garbage cans. No, it's not a personal story.
Right.
Love you, Dad.
Fucking love you, Dad. All right.
It's only a fucking trash can. I was scared of trash cans for the next 4 years, Dad. Shit. Fuck you.
Real quick. Do you remember being young enough to where you didn't give a shit about riding a bike off of a ramp that someone else made? Like, I would never put my body under that type of stress these days. Like, oh my God.
Makeshift ramp.
Yeah, do you just want to ride your bike off the fucking curb real quick as fast as you can with no safety gear? Yeah, I'm 8. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to take a sidetrack into the past.
Yeah, I mean, we got to track on them to the past, like.
Talk to him, Pete. Let us know.
Did he run away?
Yeah. No, I'm here. I'm just
no, but that's crazy though. You know, I can fully buy into that theory of England sending over these guys because they did come with coin. You're right. They did come with coin. They had coin already, so they had enough to make it look good. You know what I mean? It's like with enough wealth to know that you're wealthy, it looked good. So they must got
my
bread.
That's
that $100 bill with a bunch of ones in the middle.
Perfect example, right? What the Europeans did to America was what the so-called Americans did to the Indians.
But at the end of the day, all the Americans are Europeans are just far removed anyway.
I'm just saying.
This
because
is the
before
point.
Anybody was here, the Indians were here first, right?
This is the point in Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman when the little kid got mad that fucking Sully and Dr. Quinn were fighting. And he's like, I learned it from you. That's what we did as a country. That's what we did as a country. They came and took advantage of us. Then we went and fucked over the Indians. And then we turned around and we were like, you taught me how. You taught me how to do
what I'm
this.
saying?
Everything.
And all basically, that's what they did. The Europeans was like, yo, listen, see them dudes over there? Go get them niggas for us. We got you. Just go get them niggas for us. We got you and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Boom. They did that, took care of that, got compensated. And on actuality, I just want you to get it all right and do all the dirty work, but I'm going to take all the glory that you don't know about.
Right. Yeah. Because listen, you're right, because the first motherfuckers that came over here, the first European English settlers that landed on this soil here in this continent, were wealthy motherfuckers where they came from. The poor man didn't travel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people that had wealth to travel and had supply. Like, not your average Joe don't got shit like that. You know what I mean? So they already had that kind of mentality. We want they're rich people from England that wanted separation from their government, you know, and create a new.
So you know what I mean?
I like
you know
that.
What I mean?
That's a good lens.
It's the same shit.
I just wanted to bring Andrew Jackson into the plea because he was also mentioned in the documentary. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know,
I was just trying to cut into, like, for time purposes. There's 3 other presidents to chop.
But Andrew is definitely an important
right. He
thing,
was a big important role of keeping these banks afloat and keeping them strong and giving them more keys. And I think every president, I feel like, probably that's had the seat had their fair share of giving the keys and giving more too, that they probably didn't mention every president in the documentary, you know what I mean, that gave a coal to that fire, you know what I mean. But the primary guys were Jackson and Hamilton. You know, they're the biggest ball players in keeping these guys.
I don't think you're saying the same thing I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when Andrew Jackson was president, he stopped the European banks for funding us, for being allowed to give us to
I walked
be
away
the
when you were
currency.
talking about that before. Yeah.
Andrew Jackson Andrew Jackson stopped them from doing that. When he became president in his term, throughout his whole term, England was shut down. Those federal banks were not allowed to do no work.
Was that the part when he was talking about the he was talking about the panic era?
Yes, thank you, sir. Okay, let's get into that also. Thank you for bringing that in. Thank you. I'm glad you did that.
There was a couple. He named a couple of them. Now it's clicking. I remember
let's
now.
Be more specific. More specific is
there was like 4 different ones.
Panic. They were all fake panics.
Yep.
Remember, at the end of his term, because they let him be, he did all his full term, and under his whole full term, America was great. It was prospering, and then at the end of his term, you know, because now you got to go. You can't be president anymore. You know what I'm saying? You got to go. So then they made that fake panic to be like, yo, what's going on now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the vice president was, you know what I'm saying? And I forgot the fucking vice president's name. I think it was a French guy.
But
fucking Frenchman, dude. Yo, if you look into it, bro. The French got a lot to do with a lot of shit of our development too back in those days. So the French were involved too. They're not as innocent like they fucking try to portray.
France, nigga. They made that big ass statue and shipped it over here for us. I mean,
for a reason, nigga. That's a debt. That's to remind you. That's to remind you, nigga. We own you niggas. We own some of you niggas. That's Statue of Liberty. That's a reminder.
Trade has always been a way for this country to thrive, and that's been how it has been. I was more thrown back with more the whole, like, how much control the Federal Reserve banks, like those 12 banks run this country, like, you know.
Yo, when Lincoln went to the bank, and because he was trying to get funding for the Civil War, and they quoted him between 24 and 36% interest, which is fucking ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
He's the president. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was fucked up. It's like, yo, he's going to pay you back. He's not going to skip out on the bill. He's
and
the
it's just
president.
crazy because, like, still to this day, every war, everything that's funded comes from these 12 banks, man.
Yo, when the
They're trillions and
Rothschild's
trillions of
father,
dollars.
when the Rothschild's father said at the fucking wedding, I'm giving you the left side of America, I'm giving you the right side of America, and
That's
they
crazy.
both
North and
backed the
South.
fucking
North,
Civil
yeah,
War.
North and South. Yep, the North and South. Yeah.
They flourished through this whole fucking
and
war.
think about
That's
this
crazy.
is the amount of money that you have to where you can make the bet on, yo, if your side wins the war, fucking all right, man, I'll pay for all the fucking bills and all that shit. And if my side wins the war, you got to pay all my bills.
And not only that, let's take it to the next level, Bob. Let's take it to the next level. Not only that, you're gonna pay my debt.
Yeah.
But then, not only are you gonna pay my debt, but check this out, B. My rules is what's going. My rules is say what I say goes.
Yo,
you know
the world is your board game. The world is your goddamn fucking. Ooh.
So this whole time we look at it as like, so the Congress and the presidents and all these motherfuckers really don't have no say so anyways. It's really the bank.
Hell no. It's who the fuck what they want. Right. If the bank's in charge, if the bank's in charge,
Reserve bank niggas are the powers that be. They'll be like, yo, we shut it down.
That's what they want.
Fuck what Congress. We don't care about none of y'all. We own this whole shit. What you gonna say no to us? I'm the plug. I'll bleed this whole fucking shit out. If all those, you know what I'm saying? If all 12 of those banks like, y'all ain't getting shit, America, drown, nigga. We giving that shit to France. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we at. They know this is a money pit, so they're not gonna do that because we're the largest consumers in the world. You know what I mean? So these banks like, now we're not going nowhere.
But you see though,
this money right here, real nice. Come on, Nike, everybody, Amazon, thanks guys. They're attached to every fucking business. They're attached to every fucking business in this country, man.
Yeah. Now, after Abe got assassinated, like you were saying, the dude Booth, right? Was it a coincidence that he was known to be in that meeting with that guy, Andrew Johnson, so-called, and and he just so happened to be the next president. This is a coincidence.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like that almost feels like that move was like, okay, there are other presidents that, you know what I mean, like you said, shut down. Like when Jackson shut it down, it ain't happening. Why didn't they get assassinated? They couldn't get that close to him. You know? Now you got a man, right? His posse was tight. Andrew's like, yo, my people around me don't trade me like that. I got a tight knit. That nigga Johnson was like, nah. We're gonna get you down. It's gonna be a way for everybody wins. The banks are happy. I'm in bed with them. I become president. I'm good. You know what I mean? It could have been as simple as that. Everybody's happy. Yeah. We all eat.
And then after, after that panic, you know what I'm saying? They come in.
Now break down Garfield's again to me, because I feel Garfield was he was the one. Was he the one that was he was shot in the abdomen, or was that McKinley?
Yeah, Garfield was shot. Garfield was shot and died 2.5 months later.
Right, and they hit him with like basically malpractice shit. They was giving him the worst conditions, treatments ever.
Yep.
Unsterilized.
They were trying to dig out the fucking bullet with their fingers, like
dirty fucking unsanitized fingers.
Yep.
Yo, does that sound?
Presidential treatment, like
presidential treatment, exactly.
This is how you treat the press.
You know what I mean? But check this out, right? Doesn't that, like, let's fast forward to now, amongst the pandemic, right? You see how these guys supposedly he got shot, right? And then supposedly unsanitized rooms, medical malpractices, right? You put the doctors in to finish the job, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's take that scenario and let's put it to now. That same scenario, that same fucking blueprint, and put it to today. Current fucking time, second right now. Okay? And let's map that out. Boom. Hit a pandemic. Boom. Tell people, send them to the hospital. Boom. Malpractice is everywhere. Yeah, you got you got the virus. Who knows? Maybe they didn't. And there was something else, but they would describe that. Like, you know what I mean? It'll make you think, like, yo, could it be? You know what I'm saying? It makes it, again, more believable.
Right.
Yeah, these type of
saying?
documentaries make you question everything, and you kind of learn
Everything.
like, holy shit, your entire life might have just been
It makes you be like,
not
yo,
what you thought.
right. Like,
all those things
really?
where you thought people might have been crazy, talking about all the powers that be that run this world, the powers that be. These niggas are the powers that be that run this world. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the man with his foot on your neck you've been talking about is right here this whole time. He prints our money.
Yo, and with the out in the open of the ones that stood up were chopped down. You know what I mean? The people that went, no man, fuck that, we're doing it a different way, all ended up the same way, which is deceased. You know what I mean? So
that's crazy.
It makes
think
people
about how well they take care of the people that work for these Federal Reserve banks. How big them niggas get money. People that in tiers of that levels of that banking system, as far as how much information they know is how high up in the chain of that company of these banks. You know what I mean? The bigger the position, the more you know.
Now we connected how all four of those dudes, you know, got assassinated because they was like, no, fuck you. We
right.
Do
they
it
basically they all agreed with fuck you to the banks. That was how they tied them all together.
We got our own, and we have our own blueprint and our own strategy of making the economy work without you. You know what I mean? Now, another coincidence, maybe not, is out of all those four presidents that did get assassinated, the vice presidents always became president and terminated their fucking
shut that
their
shit
law.
down.
Right.
They came in and changed their law.
Right. Out of all the things they had on the table, why did all of them run with that one? Why did you kind of go the opposite
you know
way
what?
with that one?
We gonna put the greenbacks back. We ain't gonna do the greenbacks no more because he just got killed. So you know, give me them greenbacks back. Give me them greenbacks back.
To back. Right.
And then Andrew Johnson comes in after Lincoln dies. Andrew Johnson comes in and then he says, nope, you know, those greenbacks do not have no worth of value anymore.
Yep.
And
sorry.
Now we got these other things coming. We got more. We got the Federal Reserve banks printing more money and say, here you go. Take this instead.
This is your new currency, America. Take that. Now you get these things coming out, and this is what your current money came from these guys.
Yo, I'll say this made me think.
And you see how fucked up?
More about Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin came out and it was quiet, and then when Bitcoin got big, a lot of people started talking and a lot of people started shitting on it. But what I thought was, if it's not a threat, then you don't have to try to stomp it out like that. You know, if Bitcoin doesn't mean nothing, then you would just be like, yeah, Bitcoin is nothing. But there were a lot of and I think it reminds me of
Pegasus. Right. Put it next to the Pegasus and the fucking shit that people like. It's been a long tradition story, but people don't believe it, you know?
Yeah. And so now you have, and of course it's not where we are, but some people live their life mostly in Bitcoin. So you have to think about, there's already a portion of the population that is missing out on money from those people. You know what I mean? The federal bank is not getting any money from those people because they're using Bitcoin, a whole different thing. So that's
I'm still confused with Bitcoin. Period. I still don't know how it works. I know how
even
it works, but
to not dive into it like that, it's just a different type of money that people accept for different things.
So basically, how these guys treat the currency.
It's greenbacks.
Got you.
Basically, it's basically.
Well, doesn't it go by like bank transactions?
In computer world, you know what I'm saying? And it's got its own banking system. So what you do is this: if you want to buy one Bitcoin, you're going to spend 11,000 American dollars to get one Bitcoin. That's how much one Bitcoin is worth. I remember when one Bitcoin was only worth $400.
Yeah.
And that was back in 1997.
But then isn't there theories that they're saying like it's just going to disappear out of nowhere because it's not going to flourish? Some people have that theory about Bitcoin.
I think every theory that anyone has is out there. Yes. I think there's that. There's also people think that
I thought that was like
million.
Right. Some people are like, it's never going to work. It's going to flop. Like hip hop. They thought it wasn't going to work. Look at us now.
Exactly. It started out in the park.
I don't believe in that. because they have these things that are called chain blocks that are created, and these chain blocks are very much funded with a lot of money. And these chain blocks
the
are
anarchists
already,
get their way. We don't need fucking money.
and in these chain blocks, they already are established in a lot of different countries. So basically, like let's say if you have 100 bitcoins, you can find a market or anything that you can buy with Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin can buy you anything.
It's as good as
like let's say you have
like a credit.
Let's say you sell sneakers, Raps. You take US dollars, you take check, cash, credit card, and you also take Bitcoin.
You know, it's funny you say that. I've been seeing that more, man. I feel like it's on Cash App and
Yeah. That's real shit, bro. That's real shit. And you can pay. Yeah, and what you do is the reason why you can allow and you can accept Bitcoin is because you invested in a chain block. You know what I'm saying? That
and
allows
it's worth more than the American dollar right now.
One Bitcoin is 11,000.
Oh, you said one Bitcoin. You just said one Bitcoin is 11,000 American. So that answers my own question.
Yes. One Bitcoin is 11,000, bro. That's just to tell you.
You bought that. So wow. So you bought 3-4 of them things back in the day when it was 400.
You got a pretty.
What was the lowest when they first started out?
I think it was 400. I think it was like 3 to 3. I don't.
Was that your minimum start out?
When I learned of Bitcoin, it was about $300 to $400.
Who started this shit?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. It was just something that popped up and and just boom.
Anonymous.
Could have been raw. Could have been the Europeans.
Could have been some more European fucking Reserve Bank people. Say we got to get
Bill Gates.
At this point, you think it's a new currency, but it's just us recreating new currency under the same fucking umbrella.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's all. Just another stream. Just another stream of revenue.
And we're just fucking, and everything's just cycling right through here, and we got you niggas believing in something new.
Yeah, again. We getting you again. You fucking dummies.
Hit me one more time. So, homeboy, the third one, Garfield died from infections, right? They tied him, boom. He's in there 2.5 months, though. That's like, shit, that nigga lived for a little bit, so.
Yeah, you got to think about that nowadays. If a celebrity was shot and then died 2.5 months later, it'd be the biggest story ever. Never mind, the president, and is he still alive?
Right.
And back then, obviously, communication wasn't instant, So,
Right.
All right, let's read the newspaper tomorrow to find out, is he still alive? Oh, he's still alive. He's still 2.5 months later. Yeah, he passed today.
He passed. Oh, shit. From the assassination? We think so. Or maybe they didn't take care of that.
Or somebody came in and finished it off, or who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Somebody probably was like, who knows?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It wasn't, I didn't vote for the guy anyways. Right. I didn't vote for the guy anyways.
Who knows?
You know what I mean? So now you fast forward, Garfield, and the third one was McKinley. Right?
And he wasn't in there long.
Yeah.
He wasn't. No. He didn't even get 2 years in his term? Not even?
I don't know the exact time, but he did not get
in there long at all.
That.
No, but he also was one. He shot
didn't die immediately
from a meet and greet. Was his the meet and greet, or was that Garfield?
Yeah, it was the meet and greet. McKinley was the meet and greet.
And the first bullet bounced off him. That was the shit that fucked me up.
The bone.
Yes, the guy
it bounced off his chest bone. It dropped off his chest bone.
What weak bullets did they have back then?
Yo, don't come at me with no weak gun. Don't come at me with no weak gun.
The nigga made that shit himself.
That was because he was so fucking fat and big, bro.
Pencil and rubber bands. Yeah.
And then, but the weird part where they said, then after there were 2 people around him, and it was the guy that shot him and the gentleman's wife, McKinley's wife, and they were both talking to him. That was the weird part that they were talking about, where even the guy that shot him was like, easy with him, guys. Be easy with him, Like kind of, I just shot you and I'm the one that's killing you, but man, I hope it goes well. I'm sorry about this. That was odd.
Right.
So McKinley was president from he was our 25th president, and he was president from 1897 to 1901. But 1901, you know what I mean?
Oh.
He was up for re-election and he died before his re-election. You know what I mean? Got
They did do a term. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
yeah,
the meet
he
and
was 4
greet,
years.
popped him and shit. And then he screamed,
Right.
That's the guy who screamed MacArthur will be president if it's like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? He wanted the vice MacArthar to be in there. That was one of the theories. But MacArthur stepped up. MacArthur was tied in too somehow, I think, with the banks.
McKinley was another one where he didn't die first either. He was shot on September 6th and died on the 14th.
Days later,
a
week later.
Right.
And he was another one anti-banks. He wanted the money back where it was.
Yes. And under his term, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this one thing, people. You know what I mean? For our listeners out there, I just want to emphasize and let people know, man, that you know, for our domesticated viewers, that yo, listen. First and foremost, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I love all nations and I love everyone. You know what I mean? Let's get that out in the clear. But also, again, you know, this shit gets me upset. But people, back to my point. America, you know what I mean, did fucking great on our own. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like we needed them at this point in time.
No,
maybe we did at the time in the beginning, but now at this time, and we didn't need these people. We didn't need them at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? So these presidents came in and made that loud and clear. Yo, we don't need you, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we stopped, and when we did stop the fucking rape, okay, to put it in fucking rarest form, when we cut the fuckery out and we say, yo, fuck you, you're not gonna rape us anymore, and we go on our own. You know what I mean? We do great. We flourish as a people. Everybody's happy. The fucking country's happy. Everybody's happy.
Yo, you know people were getting 0% loans. They were just like, yo, let's just make everybody great. Okay, man, you need some money to fix this? Boom, you get that.
Right.
Those greenbacks were helping everybody.
Right,
and
because the money's all being made. It's supposed to come right back in.
Bro,
now you're going to another party.
Exactly. It's really all circulating all circulating.
And what they did is and once they had the government in pocket, now they went to every big business that came out and put them right in their pocket. You need a loan?
Yo, and you know what this taught me too? This taught me to take this with me to every other documentary and every other aspect of life. Whenever you question something and we should make this a t-shirt, follow the money. Follow the money. And every situation, follow that money. Okay, where's it? Who's making the most? Where's it going to? Follow the money.
About every business back in those times that were the biggest businesses around. Like, yo, they're so big, and how do they, you know, they got backers, man. And you don't need no other backer but the motherfuckers that give out money anyways. Federal Reserve, I got you. Side backroom deals. What you need? How much you need?
Yo, can I ask a question?
Shark Tank motherfuckers. Yo, how much you need? What is in it for me? Shark Tank shit, real shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now,
I got another question, man.
I'm getting so many percent.
After seeing this documentary, right, I come to ponder, and the question that I ponder is this. Bank of America. Is it really a Bank of America, or is it just another fucking dude?
Is it just a bank in America?
In America. I got money falling off my head right now, man. That's how much the truth you leaking out right now. It's falling.
Like, let me, you know what I mean? Like, let's even ask that. Like, is Bank of America, is that really Bank of America, or is it just a bank in America?
Well, I'm telling you, a lot of it is in the selling. Like, I watched the documentary Super Size Me Too, where the dude that went to McDonald's all the time, he opened his own chicken restaurant because he wanted to see what these words meant when they talk about what does natural mean. Oh, natural means everything. Like, you know, shit is natural. So when you say all natural, that chicken could have been living in shit, and it was all natural. You know, so they put nice terms on everything. You know,
so it
and like
excludes them
they'll
from,
say,
from responsibility.
This is the Bank of the USA. That don't mean it has anything to do with the USA. That's just a name. That's all that shit is.
It's a bank that's in the United States.
Exactly.
Okay, so basically, we're basically calling it a moniker.
But how about this though? How about all these banks that exist that aren't part of the 12 really are part of the 12 because all their money's coming back from them niggas.
Or maybe it's recycling to them.
It's getting
how is a bank opening up? How do you get a bank to open up? How do they get started up? How do these new banks pop up everywhere? They gotta go see the man. Who's the man?
Yeah.
Reserve, man. The guys that give the money, give the country money. They got enough. They don't have to only deal with the country. They're like, yeah, we deal with the country, but we're gonna deal with Pepsi. We're gonna deal with Coca-Cola. We're gonna deal with Nike. Who else is big out here? Who else? Amazon. What you need? You need more? We got you. But you know our percentage is gonna come back off that too.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy. I wouldn't doubt it.
And shout out to Garfield though too, because you know he was also for the black dollars also. You know what I mean? He wanted to not only liberate, you know,
they all had that in common too.
He wanted him and Lincoln and Garfield were from the same tree. You know what I mean? Because he was like Future down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but Kennedy also came from rich. He came from a rich family. He was a rich family nigga.
Yeah, a rich family of crooks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Joe Kennedy's dad was a big fucking crook. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, Pete. This nigga's showing a picture of Garfield right now. Sorry.
So Garfield, you know, was up under Lincoln. You know what I mean? And believed in his policies and believed what Lincoln believed. And he was also, you know what I'm saying, willing, you know, to liberate, you know what I'm saying, black people too, and have them have their independencies too. You know what I'm saying? Right. He was all for that too. You know what I mean?
Like make everybody equal. What the fuck are we talking about?
Everybody equal, everybody eat, everybody live, you know? And you know what, man? Like, I would love to see that right now, man. I would love to see that type of America right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But shit, from time of it being a certain way where the powers that be, the reserve niggas, they're the higher percentage. I mean, they're top percentage of the income wealth people in the world. You know what I mean?
Yo, you know what's crazy? Like you know what's really fucked? When they said, and I only caught this the second time I watched it because I watched this shit twice. John Wilkes Booth wanted to kidnap Lincoln first. Yo, you wanted to kidnap the goddamn president? How's that gonna work out? Holy shit. That almost seemed more sinister to me than going up and shooting him. I was like,
Abe was a big dude too.
And he could wrestle,
was like 6'5", right?
Wasn't that one of the things? Didn't Abraham Lincoln wrestle?
I think so. He was a scrapper back in the day. Abe came from the gutter, man.
Abe used to fight, nigga. Abe was a fighter.
No, Abe was a poor lad. He came from a broke family. That nigga, he was scrapper, man.
That's why I wonder if that's why they thought twice about kidnapping him, because that's what they said, that the initial plan was for a kidnapping, but he might have been he got range and shit too. He got them long ass arms and he got range. Just do some.
Nigga Abe was 6'4", nigga. What you want to do? Nigga Abe was a point guard for the Knicks, nigga. That nigga was a point guard for the Knicks, nigga. What you saying?
Looking like Phil Jackson and shit, nigga.
Word.
Look at Phil Jackson was our president.
Yo, that motherfucker Abe looked like that nigga had some broad ass shoulders, nigga.
A big linky nigga just smelled like tobacco. That's what he looked like, at least.
Oh shit! Abraham Lincoln, I walk like a ball player.
Right. Oh man. So and then we could travel on down the road a little bit. Now there's a big gap between the assassinations because all those guys happened rather like 1860. Then there was like 1881, and then
there's where I believe he gets
kind of a closer.
The moniker Honest Abe.
Honest Abe. There he is, right here. For y'all that don't know the G, is Abe.
Honest Abe, man. I think that's why they call him Honest Abe, because he didn't want he wanted to keep our money. He wanted to keep everything that the fucking country said they stood for to be a thing. You know how we say all men created equal? Can we do that? Can we do that? Yeah,
how about can we partake in the shit we be preaching to people? Can we, you know what I mean? He probably was a realist. Like, yo, this bullshit we talk about, and we don't do none of it. Like, if I could see it, people can see it. No, how come nobody else can see this shit? You know, but then you're gonna take that. Oh, go ahead.
That all goes back to that media. How we were talking about when's COVID gonna be done? And you know what? Now that I don't come home and turn on my TV to the news every single day,
it's done to me.
It's done to me. Like I haven't heard about, you know, 1 million people dying, and I don't know, man. And it seems like people are talking about it less. Yeah, it seems like people are talking about it less. So I feel like
maybe those areas that are hot spots. Maybe the hot spot people are going through what we went through back then. Maybe this is new for them. Maybe they're like the ones staring at the screens every day. Oh my God, numbers, more numbers. You know.
Yep.
I feel like we're ready to play ball. we're ready to play ball here in Connecticut, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go. Bring all the NFL teams right here to Connecticut. We go down to Raythers Field in Hartford, and shit, I want tickets. You know, get a crowd back. We're ready, man. We're ready. CT is ready. But yeah. So we're gonna skedaddle forward to JFK though. We got to get to JFK.
Yeah, JFK gets in. JFK gets. McKinley dies again from another malpractice.
Remember,
let's just say how he died. Now, let's say how McKinley died.
I don't know about malpractice. That nigga took a dome shot. I don't.
No, I'm talking about McKinley.
Oh,
I'm talking about McKinley. I'm talking about McKinley. McKinley got shot. Yeah, he got shot from a dome shot. You know what I mean? From a stomach shot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But then he also got died. He also got killed from. He also
died. They might have almost chalked it up to even poison.
Medical malpractice. It was a medical
that's
malpractice.
what they're saying. There might have been poison on the bullet. There might have been, or you know what I thought was crazy.
There was a lot of ways they assumptions to say that they had died.
The one that I thought was extremely sinister is they said they might have said they took out the bullet but didn't take out the bullet. So they were fucking with him the whole time, and the bullet was still in there, but they were just like, pulled out the extra bullet of like, this one here.
Right. Wait, that's the one that they claimed that right. They couldn't find it. The magic bullet they called it.
Yeah,
that was the one.
The
magic bullet that disappeared. They couldn't find it. Like,
there's certain things that happen that open up my mind to, I didn't know people could do that. You know what I mean? I didn't know that somebody could be that disgusting. Like, imagine someone shot and you're just like, nope, can't find the bullet. Like, that's fucked. Like, that's
have a straight face about it.
Yeah.
You got to go home with like, I'm lying to this guy and he's going to die. That guy's going to die and I got to lie to his face and tell him everything's all right. We're working on it, pal.
So,
there's
a different type of human being.
Yep. Who was his predecessor? I forgot his predecessor's name.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
McKinley?
They didn't really mention.
President?
I don't think they mentioned who his because this was before his next term, right? Was he a president? He was a president at the time.
He was going for re-election.
He's going for re-election. So he was
that's
still
what
president.
it was. Somebody else just got elected, I think, instead of someone else taking over.
He wasn't right. Okay, so nobody took over for him.
Oh yeah, Teddy came in right afterwards.
Oh, that's right, Teddy Rose. That's right.
Teddy came in after that.
Good old Teddy with the square.
That's right. They put Ted on the block. That's when Ted was on the block.
And that's when Teddy, stopped McKinley's fucking order and put back the banks and put the banks back in.
Don't be fooled that his teeth are like rocks. He's still Teddy from the block.
Teddy from the block.
Yo, he had those square ass teeth that I've ever seen in my life. His shit looked like they were drawn haphazardly.
I just wanted to be around that nigga when he laughed because I feel like cracking joke. He just got that. His whole face explodes when he laughs.
Yeah,
that one picture, like, Biffy, did you hear? It's like that nigga's fucking face is just exploding expression. More than any of them other niggas, like he probably was drunk. He probably was drunk in that picture. That famous when they show of him, like that nigga was drunk.
You got to remember too, Pete. They were on everything back then. There was heroin and medicine. It was fucking.
They were drinking. They were fucking whores, man. They were whoremongers and drunks, man.
And any drug that you wanted was allowed.
Who's your forefathers? Whoremongers and drunks, man.
You could go to CVS and buy heroin. It doesn't make sense. It's fucking. They were living a different life.
Right. It's like how many of those presidents got away with fucking molesting children?
Talk low, but carry a big stick.
You better believe that shit was happening to some of them fucking perps, man. Like, get away with shit. So McKinley died. And then we skedaddle up the road. And now we talk about a good 50, 60 years before, almost 60 years between JFK and McKinley being assassinated.
Because I think people saw it and went, all right, okay, I'm going to stay in line.
That might have been the one.
I'm going to leave that one alone. You know what? I'm going to try to solve something else. It's
like, yo, damn, he was on his way out the door and y'all did him like that?
Yeah.
Like, nah, they didn't want to be reelected. That's why they did that. It's like, no, he can't.
8 years. He did 8 years. He did 2 terms.
Oh, he did 2 terms. Oh, okay.
Damn.
So.
Teddy Roosevelt did 2 terms. He did 8 years.
Oh, Rosie did. No, I'm talking about McKinley. McKinley.
McKinley got the foe.
That's what I'm saying. He got popped before trying to go for the second one.
Before the second term, because the banks were like, and the Europeans are like, no, fuck you.
We don't need you. Today.
Who were the other guys that were running? There was Woodrow Wilson. somebody else, and Ted
Oh
Kennedy.
yeah, there was some name.
Because remember that the same person was backing all of them. The same person was
That's
giving
right.
money to all three of them.
So anyway,
It
we're
makes
winning.
you question everything of just like,
Right. They're fucking. Whoever they want to fund is gonna win.
Yeah.
who do we want that's gonna help us? Who's about our bottom line? That's who we're gonna help push to the forefront.
Yep. And they got enough money to make it happen.
Right.
And if you and they got enough money to make you disappear if you stop playing along.
If you stop playing this game,
yeah,
you're gonna get fucked up. Why you think Obama
get hit
was
with that
strategic
fucking
when he
heart
was
attack
saying?
gun?
Right. You know what I mean? This is why Trump just goes along with the flow. Fuck it. I'm a money man. We out here. I keep ain't nothing for him to keep that pen moving for the federal. It's like, what y'all need? Don't worry about that.
And think about how long the information system has been so bad in this country, and like until the internet was invented, you're keeping everything a secret. How is anybody ever going to find out anything? What? It's going to be told to someone? It's going to be written in a book and some people are going to read it? Like, bro, they could get away with everything forever, you know?
Right.
Because who's going to find out about it, and how are they going to find out about it? And then how are enough people going to find out about it?
Everybody that was involved got a lid on them.
Yeah. I mean, it really is the information superhighway. It really, really is to where everybody this can find out something.
But if somebody's like, yo, I'm gonna make you and your family set for the rest of your lives if you shut the fuck up. Okay. You know what I mean? Like presidents that have come and passed, like Obama ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like Clinton, all the Bushes, man, they lived large, man. You know what I'm saying? They had to worry about no bullshit.
Yo, and Obama, he had the cover. He had the cover of the color because nobody could say anything about him for 8 years, because if you did, you were a racist. No, it does not matter what you just said or what you brought up or what he just did. You're a racist for speaking anything except for bridled praise.
I always say that. I said that it all depends on what the hell you're talking about. If you're just gonna start blurting around he's fucking stupid and dumb and without giving me solid reasons why, you know what I mean? Then it's like, now at that point you're just being a racist. That's how I distinguish between those motherfuckers. Like, if somebody's gonna come straight out and just start and they start giving like tax reform deals and they have an exact thing that they're upset about, because people will pay attention like every little. Well, he's the one that signed the bill for this, like people like that. Okay, you're upset about something he's doing as a president, as opposed to him just being who he is as the president. You know what I mean? Like, you don't like the work being done.
Yeah, exactly. And there are still, unfortunately, people that exist that are just, I don't like his color. And you're like, how do they still make you? Like, how are you still made?
That's terrible. You should have
back.
died.
Who's still putting that inside of it? Like, it's just the fuck.
So they tied Lee Harvey Oswald to, because they said Lee Harvey Oswald was possibly that, but he got tied.
But check this out, right?
Talk to him.
I don't mean to go flip flopping. You know what I mean? Flop flipping and shit. Lincoln, the first president to get assassinated, right? Because he didn't want the banks to fuck with us, right? Or he didn't want he didn't want the help from the banks and all of that. He said he can do this and that for us, right? Republican.
Because they quoted him at such a ridiculous price. He was like, what?
Right.
Fuck
Republican.
You. Nah, son.
No Vaseline? No Vaseline?
No. He was Republican.
Right.
He was a Republican.
He's about JFK, right? Yo, listen.
He was a Republican, right? Let's go to this guy. What was it, President Garfield? Right?
JFK, you talking about?
John Stockton?
No, President Garfield.
Garfield. You went back to Garfield? What happened?
Now, Garfield was the 20th president, right? Assassinated, right? Because again, he opposed the Federal Reserve banks.
Yes.
To do their
wanted
thing.
To go back.
Assassinated.
Standard.
Right.
The gold standard.
He kept us. He was the
Gold
first to
Standard
introduce
Act.
the
Is
gold
that what it's
standard.
called?
Yes. The gold standard act.
That was
first
who was that? Who was that?
Let's commend him for that as well. That's a point. That's a major point there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how he snubbed out the Federal Reserve. I said we got the Gold Standard Act. That's what we do.
We got the gold standard. We got our gold.
We don't need their paper. We're doing our gold. We got gold.
Yep.
Yep.
We got it.
And everything was fine, and we flourished. Everything was fine. Everybody was happy. Everything was good, right? He got assassinated. Hold up, wait a second. Oh, again, Republican.
Hold up, wait a minute. Someone
Whoever
got
took over,
assassinated.
the one that stepped in there, he got rid of that act, I believe, as soon as he stepped in.
Yep, the vice president. The vice president after Garfield, which was, oh fuck, what was I forgot?
What was his name? Was it Arthur MacArthur? No, that was for McKinley.
I'll go back and look for 1 second. Now, let me see here. I think doesn't say here for some reason.
Sorry.
Oh,
multitasking over here.
McKinley, the third president to get assassinated. You know what I mean? Because we had our own way of form of making our own money, because they didn't need the federal banks. He got assassinated. Republican.
Listen, it's get down and lay down, man. At the end of the day, that's
all
this shit.
It just so happens that 3 Republicans that didn't want these people around get assassinated. It's crazy.
Like you said, you're supposed to be down with us. Fuck them demos. You rub with us. You're supposed to get down, niggas. Now we got to snub you out.
And the reason why they did Kennedy so bad.
Oh, talk about it. Because
to me,
we're gonna talk about
the worst.
Talk about that 11-11-0 Act, huh? Talk about it.
Yeah, 1-1-1-1-0 Act.
That's
where
right.
It was,
11-11-0. Talk about it.
Instead of he did the same shit like Garfield. Instead of gold, he just did silver on the silver bill now.
Yep.
Our money was supposed to be to the silver.
And it printed it on the money like silver. This is
and it was right. You know what I mean? And everything would have been good. And boom.
That silver certificate.
Now, Kennedy, right, was basically a product of the Federal Reserve System. You know what I mean? Because when we got into the Great Depression, and Franklin, and then when we got into the Great Depression, then FDR was president. You know, he had hired his father to be the U.S. Secretary of Treasury. You know what I mean? And the quote is, they were saying, FDR's quote is, "You got to catch a crook. To catch a crook, you need a crook." You know what I mean?
That was for Big Kennedy, Pop Dukes.
Right. So Joe Kennedy was in charge of all of that and making sure everything was going, correct. But, his reputation was that he was all fucking, he was a criminal. He was a fucking underboss, kind of guy.
Fucking Mama Luke over here.
Right. So I mean,
so
you got to look at it as probably like,
Yep. He cleans up his act. You know what I mean? And now he's in with the government, and now he's working for the president. So his ties working for the president, he keeps his family into politics. He stays in bed with the Federal Reserve banks. He earns his millions. He keeps his millions. He gets in tied also with the Federal Reserve banks. He's good. Here comes JFK. Here comes John, his son. Now his son, through politics, he comes up Democrat now. Now these are Democrats. It's another thing now. All these follow-up presidents after they get assassinated, the one that takes over right after them, the immediate successor after them, just so happen to be Democrats.
Yep.
Just saying. I don't know if that makes a point or not. I'm just putting it out there. So
I don't know, but there was so much coincidence between Lincoln and Kennedy was insane.
Yeah. Here comes JFK, right? And now coming through JFK, he comes up, knowing all of this shit. So now, basically, the Federal Reserve banks and the government and all of them is basically, as a favor, is like, okay, John, here you go. Here goes your presidency. Now you're president. You know what I mean?
Well, that is one way to look at it, but you got to remember too that he was the first president that media was using that he was on TV and people saw him and they were like, whoa, this guy looks good. He looks like a movie star. He got elected on a lot of that, you know?
Right. Well, his father was powerful as shit though.
But I'm saying he had money. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it almost feels like the Federal Reserve, if you want to go on that angle, could be like, yo, after everything we did, didn't we get you in the office?
Check this out.
Let's talk about it. Didn't we get you in the office?
I'm getting there. That's what I'm going to. That's what I'm going to. That's what I'm getting to. You know what I'm saying? So now,
because time is running.
Now when we get into there, right? Boom, he's in office, and then he comes out with that act of, now listen, we're gonna do the 111111000 act.
Yep.
Some people was like, wait a minute, hold up, how can you, you know what I'm saying? How can you do that? You know what I mean? We put you in office so you can keep our money coming in. We fed you, we fed your family, and this is what you're gonna do.
Backdoor thing. He did it like, no, we still in bed, but guess what? We print money on the side for our own too. See, he tried to do it both. Like, he's still dealing with the Fed Reserve, but he's like, no, we got our own shit flowing too.
Yep.
That's how we go.
We're not going to give you all of it. Yeah.
Right. We're going to back in some money right now. Yep.
And I think
that's like, you cutting us out?
I believe, and that's why I believe he got it the worst. I think that's why he got it the worst.
We're gonna get him broad daylight, broad daylight in a parade.
He was a product. He was a product of them, and there was another similarities like you were saying between him and Lincoln.
That's crazy you say, man. They wanted a more personal approach. It felt personal.
Yeah, to show people, this is what you do when this is happening.
And it's the people that know are the ones that they want to show. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in that know to know what the hell that message was really about.
Like,
because everybody else is gonna go with Oswald was a Lone Ranger, and it's funny how he got assassinated. He got killed too. You know what I'm saying?
2 days later.
That's another reason.
Get rid of him real quick. Get rid of him real quick.
Real quick.
The way how Booth got handled with was the same way how pretty much.
Right. You got to go with the term now. You got to go with the term they're called? You know what I mean? Patsies.
Yeah, the patsies.
That was a term learned from this.
It was a patsy. Yeah, it was a patsy. Yeah.
Right.
Basically,
somebody that takes the fall guy.
The fall guy. The fall guy.
Real quick.
Yeah, the guy.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to every late night diner that I've ever ordered a patty melt at, because just memories were streaming through my head, and that patty melt could save your fucking life at 2:30 in the morning.
Shout out to the patty melts.
Yeah. Instead of that, for me, it was the cheese gravy fries. But
ooh, okay.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So again, like Lincoln was advised not to go to the theater. Kennedy was advised not to go to Dallas.
Right.
That's crazy. You know what I mean? 100 years later.
Lincoln's secretary was named Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Lincoln. Their birthdays were born they were the same year, like 100 years apart or whatever.
But everything was strategically done.
Their vice presidents were both from the South. Their both names were Johnson. Their shit was insane. Yeah. Kennedy and Lincoln was insane.
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
But it was 100 years to the T. You know what I mean? And the way these assassinations came, and the way the after the assassinations, the way they dressed it up was also to the T. You know what I mean? It does make you be like, yo, our forefathers. What do you mean, our forefathers? Our forefathers are a bunch of crooked motherfuckers. This country was built on lies, deceit, and cheat. It's proven to you. Why? Because of the bank. Yo, there's no facade. The facade is this great picture of America is noble. Man, fuck all that. The real shit is that America was founded through crooked Europeans, man. You know what I mean? That's it.
The money was the money of it.
Okay.
What's the currency? I mean, at one point, if it was a cocoa leaf, the motherfucker, if you had a cocoa forest, you was on top of the game. You know what I'm saying?
If you ask me, bro,
tea, you was on top of the game with the tea. You know, whatever that.
America at that time, just America at that time was just the Europeans that didn't want to be fucking under the fucking ruling of the fucking queen.
They were jamming the signal.
Those motherfuckers came over here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, you know what I mean? And they was like, all right, you guys don't want to be under my roof. You don't want to live under my roof. Okay, no problem. But
I know you're gonna want something. Yeah,
I know
just
you're
to
gonna
think
want
about it
something
too.
from me. I know you're gonna need something.
Right.
From me. I know you're gonna need something. So here,
Right.
you know what I'm
But
saying?
just think about it. The powers that be that run these banks, they could just fucking press out a fucking pallet for themselves just to have and walk around with. You know what I mean? I just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just press pallets out and just like give it out to their families for Christmas. Like
but that's the type of money that they have. So, and
right.
they were even saying that the government has never even fully audited them. So exactly what you
They don't
just
know how
said
much
right
is
there.
real.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but who is that?
In America, I'm sure that scene that you just described has happened for Christmas. I am sure that there is some super uber rich motherfucker that wrapped up a fucking pallet of hundreds and just
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
Yeah.
From our friends at the reserve. It's from our friends at the reserve. Pallet out block of unmarked money. Off the grid money just for you.
Yeah.
New York says thank you, Mom. Here you go.
Yep.
New York says thank you. Oh, Dad? Yeah, Boston says thank you.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think, but that's somebody's real life is dealing with that type of fucking dough. It's amazing.
All in all, I'd say that this was a fucking. What is he still going? I can't hear him.
What you say?
You still okay? All right, yeah.
All right, there you go. All right.
You're good.
You heard me? You got me? I'm here. I'm here.
You're fading in and out. But
it's probably the fan. Hold on. You turn the fan on. Is that better? Is that better?
We're getting to the wrap up anyways of this, man. Can you lock in? You good?
I'm here.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I was gonna say, all in all, man, I felt this was a very informational documentary.
But real
scary.
quick, do you think? And they didn't go into this too much. Do you think there was more than one shooter for Kennedy? Or do you think that he made all the shots?
Absolutely. One bullet ain't going to do all of that.
No.
One bullet ain't going.
They were saying 3 shots. They weren't saying one. They were saying 3 shots, but
bro, I believe.
What about the closest people to the car that didn't fucking react after the first shot?
But they were saying also that they had undocumented fucking security there too. How you gonna have that?
Dude, that's the thing that bugged me out when they were talking about the people that were dressed like CIA agents that weren't CIA agents.
Yeah.
And then they just like kind of never mentioned again.
Who's that? Bigger than, right. This is bigger than a lone wolf. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
and
want
another
you to believe it was a lone wolf that had this whole conspiracy hate.
Right. And
I want the documentary of those dudes. Tell me who the people were at the Kennedy assassination that were dressed up like CIA agents but weren't CIA agents. Who were they?
Right.
Yeah, I want to know their story.
Strip them naked.
They don't
Let's
know.
go. Strip them naked. Let's go. What
they don't know. They're the ghosts.
They got paid to put a lid on it.
Nobody knows nothing about them.
Could it be something as simple as those were cosplayers back in the day? Who knows? Maybe there was some weirdos that dressed like them and came to the fucking wrong day at the parade.
Before you close up, but how about this though? You know what I'm saying? The guy, I forgot the name, but he said that the Federal Reserve banks are just a bunch of crooks. You know, all they do is just take off the back of the American workers. The money that we repaid them by tenfold already. You know what I mean? I forgot the guy in the documentary.
Right, like the debt that was owed, we already been paid him.
He's like, listen, the nation's debt, we already paid that to you from the first agreement, and we already in that first agreement we paid it by 100 folds times over. So why are you still trying to keep coming in and trying to take? So basically, that's what he's saying. The Federal Reserve is just nothing of a monopoly that just wants to take and just a greedy bunch of motherfuckers. That's all it is, because we don't need them. We already paid them the debt. The debt is a bullshit. That national debt that's there, that's bullshit. That's just there to keep the motherfuckers and remind them just to say, you owe us for what?
Right.
You know, that's just a fucking facade, basically, the fucking national debt. You know what I mean?
It's got so far now that it's way beyond. You know what I mean? It's got so
this
far
guy saying
of control.
This guy's saying that, yo, we already paid the debt, so there is no debt. You know what I mean? So what they pointing to is that the national debt is this, and there. That's bullshit. There is no debt. We already paid that. You know what I'm saying? According to this dude. You know what I mean? So that's fucked up. How these Federal Reserve banks are here doing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Once again, rest in peace to Andrew Gauss. who's the guy who died.
Yeah, man.
Who was
yeah, man.
didn't even get to see this thing come out.
Yeah.
But he worked on it and died before it dropped, man. He dropped before it dropped. And
shout out to the
Conspiracy
people,
there.
bro. Shout out to his production team for getting it out, man. You know what I'm saying? For letting it be known, man.
They put their names at the end, so they might want to check the
man.
names at the end of that list, see how many of them make it. it's a real movement at this point, bro. Start searching those names. Jam the system, cuz they out there, man. All I know is my name is Young Pastry. That's all I know. I don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Well, we could do it quick, but
I'm
for
fat
me,
cat, nigga.
I went with 3 Pumpkins. That was for me because that beat ruined my goddamn life. I could not deal with that piano beat over and over and over again. I had to watch this
two
thing.
Pumps off for the, you took 2 pumps off for the beat?
Bro, it was. I honestly had to stop watching. It just it hurt me too much, man. But that's for me. I give it a 3. I like the info. I didn't like the presentation of the info necessarily. It felt more school-like than a interesting documentary,
than an intro doc.
But I liked the info. I liked the info. I just maybe didn't like the delivery system as much.
Right.
And with the host, I didn't love the host. But then knowing that he was the executive producer, I'm trying to think maybe the host was like, "Fuck it, I'll put myself in front. So if anyone gets killed, it's me." And maybe that's what happened to him. Who knows?
Right. He might have got 2.5, but that gave him a 3.
So
that bravery.
Right.
So now for me, you know what I'm saying? I loved it. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
My boy Lil Matt gave it a 3 pump, you know what I mean, on the push. You know?
Push.
3 pump on the push. But I'm gonna give it 6 canepas, man.
Whoa!
You gave an extra canepa not needed?
Whoa!
Ooh,
yeah, man.
Extra canepa. Wow.
That's a strong. That's a strong.
Because
you broke the.
Because I think last week you did -2, but then we're convinced to go -1. So -1 to 6. That's a 7-point jump, brother.
That's a big come up in a week's worth of information.
I mean, listen. Yeah. I do agree. The music was a little annoying, but yo, like I was just in tune and too focused with the fucking information that was just given out. You know what I mean? Like because on a personal level, like. I always had these, you know, some questions and some assumptions of certain ways of how things was, you know, could be. And, you know, I mean, this documentary was also letting me know, like, oh shit, like I'm not far off of what I'm, you know what I mean? Like the way, how I'm thinking and how I'm perceiving things is not far off. You know what I mean? And, and it was very interesting, man. It was very educational. It also opened my realization to a lot of shit. You know what I mean? That you know, everything is propaganda. You know what I mean? But you got to cut through the propaganda and just focus on what the final cause is. And like y'all was saying, follow the money. Follow the money, man.
Follow the money. You follow the answers.
On a big fucking like. On a scale that big, on a scale that large, you know what I mean? Where there's big fucking dollars to be gained or lost, you definitely got to follow it, and you definitely have to ask, okay, who's the big gainer and who's gonna be the big loser? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And why? You know what I mean? And this guy did it, man. This guy typed it out,
and
man.
It's tough. It's tough to actually know it, but then know it, but then know there ain't really shit you can really do about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was another
knowledge that you got that kind of
point.
Yeah.
That was bringing me to my next point. Yeah, you know what I mean? The knowledge is definitely, you know what I mean, key. But you know, now what can you do? You know what I mean? It's like your hands are cuffed. You know what I'm saying? Like you really can't really do nothing about it, but just know and just hope. You know what I mean? That someone that do have the capability to do something well, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, 6 canepas, the shit was dope. I recommend it. You know what I mean? I recommend it for everybody.
I think AZ said that. I gave an extra one just for unbelievers.
Yeah, man, this one. I think I'm gonna have to put this. I think this is one that I put inside the basket, man.
That's going in the archives. That goes inside the safe. You
the
gotta put that in the
watch
safe.
That goes inside the Canepa
safe.
basket.
The Canepa basket. Listen. So that being said, I guess it's down to me. I agree with both of you brothers on a lot of this stuff, man. The soundtrack was really tough. It was very airy. It was, he tossed me around with that one. But for me, because I felt so unknowledgeable of where money comes from and how it kind of exists, I'm going to go with 4.5. 4.5 melons. I took the half off for the music. Because it was like, I was going to take a whole one, but it's like the information was so good for me. Yeah. From me being such a blank slate, kind of feeling like I got so much knowledge out of it, that I would have went 5 melons if it wasn't for the soundtrack. Because it all right,
so
I think you could have did what they could have did. What I think when you get into like theatrical parts of like knowledgeable parts, you could sprinkle a little music, but it was through the whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like. Like it's like it's not
over
Halloween.
Everything he said,
right.
Love
and
it,
then
love
like
it,
every
love
point,
it.
right? Every point is sounding like the Twilight Zone. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't do that. Every point.
Love it.
Give me the sound when it's a point that sounds like it should be there, not through the whole thing. So that's why the half came up. But like it was so much, like holy shit, that's who's really running this fucking country.
Yeah, man.
European guys who fucking convinced this country that, hey, you need us. We got what you need, and we don't even really have it, but we want you to think that. And the interest that's coming in is making it look like we got that much, but it's really your fucking money at the same time. Yep. It's like, whoa, if that ain't a Ponzi scheme, if I ever seen fucking one, so this country.
And as long as they don't put it on the nightly news, nobody's ever gonna know about it, because it takes.
Just think about it, guys. Just think about it, guys. Right? Just you know what I mean? Just think about it, right? The King of England goes to the Rothschild house. He says, listen, let's try this over here, see if it works. Okay. Rothschild makes a phone call. But listen, the king wants to try this out. I think it's a good idea.
Y'all down the ride?
Let's go. This is what's going down, all right? Okay.
Ride out.
Boom. And then we got COVID all over the place.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Oops.
So basically we're saying all this is not too far from what's going on right now. The powers that be control this shit. And I kind of feel like this documentary made me a believer in what the hell he was talking about. So conspiracy or not, I felt as though he had a strong, solid case behind what they were talking about and giving us. So I kind of could put my
because he was definitely proving his thing, man. He was proving his case.
Yeah. Put my melons on that batch, man. So that was a great documentary.
4.5 melons, huh?
I say that was a good pick. Fat Cat, I enjoy that pick you made there. And I believe this week it's on Lil Maddie.
It's on you, bro. It's on you, bro.
No, I picked the Chariots of the God was me. That was before you.
That was you. Okay, it's on Lil Maddie. Lil Maddie.
Yeah, I picked
the squad.
It's called Fire on the Hill, and I'll send it to.
Oh shit!
I'll send it to him, but it's about, it's about cowboys from Compton.